Okay, ladies, Babe and I are going to tell you about how we met and kind of like up until like our first time meeting each other. So him coming into town to see me and then me coming to see his family for the first time. Okay, so I'll start it off. So for me, I was 25 years old. So this is December 2018. I have a lot to talk about for 2018, but in this video, we'll just talk about the point at which Babe and I actually start talking and we meet. But I need to do like a full story time. But anyway, so at this point in my life, I was like a full workaholic. And especially around the holiday season, I would work even more because I just kind of felt like I don't have a husband, I don't have a family. And it would just keep my mind off of that feeling that happens during the holidays, like when you're single during the holiday season and you want to have like a family and a spouse, that time is really, really hard. So I would just like amp up my work hours. I would be covering for people and all that. So, New Year's Eve, I worked an overnight and then I left one house, I believe, and then I went to my main house that I worked at. I work in mental health. So, I go to my house Christmas morning and I'm like scrolling. I can't remember if I matched with him prior to Christmas Day or if we matched on Christmas Day. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. I think
Okay.
it was. Ugh, may have been prior to Christmas Day.
Okay. But what I remember about your profile is he had a couple of pictures on there. So on Eharmony, you take a compatibility quiz, and on the compatibility quiz, hold on, babe. I'm gonna get you something so that you can rest your arm. Is that better?
Yep.
Okay, so on eHarmony, you take a compatibility quiz. And when you match with somebody, it shows your scores compared to their scores. So you see how compatible you are and in specific areas. So we were really, really compatible. And I like love that because other people that I match with, we would have like discrepancies and some things that were really important to me. So another thing I remember about his profile is he had one profile where he had his headphones on and he just seemed like he was chill. I just got this like vibe from his profile that he was just a chill, laid back kind of guy. And then another one of his pictures, he was in his full chef outfit. Because if y'all didn't know, my husband is a chef. And so I was just like, oh, cool, a chef. Like, he must be serious because he has like the hat and everything. Like, I didn't know like much about that, y'all. I'm a daddy's girl. At the time, I was living with my dad, and so that's what I remember about his profile. What do you remember about mine?
So yeah, I remember that we were very compatible, and then I looked through her profile, and she had a lot of things on there that I liked, as far as her values and her faith, and also that she lived in Michigan because I had her opened up my search to that. Because at first I was only going local, and if you don't know, I lived in Maryland, so I was only going local. But then I opened up my search to Michigan because for the longest time I always wanted to live in Michigan because all my family, most of my family lived here, like my mom's side of the family, and then my dad's side of the family isn't too far in Chicago, so I wanted to live here. So I opened up my search to that, and then I seen her profile, and we were compatible, and she looked very good in her photos, and so yeah, we
So
had
that's
matched up from there, and then
okay. So that morning, I was at my work site, and I remember like getting the staff gift bags together, and I'm just like kind of like ripping and running, and I'm thinking about the fact that like, man, it's Christmas and I just get, I don't know, like I get into my phone and I open it up and then I just pull up the eHarmony app. And so when I pull up in the app, I'm like, okay, like we matched, and I'm just like, it's Christmas, like I'm lonely. I want to talk to somebody. Like, let me just reach out and see, like, and introduce myself. So I message him and I say, like, hey, I'm Simone. What did I say?
You just said, hi, I'm Simone.
Okay, I said, hi, I'm Simone. And then he responded on Christmas Day, mind you.
Yeah, I didn't respond right away because this had been my first Christmas where I wasn't working. So I was asleep.
Yeah, he was asleep in the morning
So
part.
I woke up to that message. I don't know, it had to been like 10.
It was early still.
Yeah. So I woke up to that message and, I told her, I had just responded back like, hi, Simone, and I'm Alex. And then we got to talking from there. And
Because I said, what brings you to eHarmony, I think.
yeah. And so then I went over, what I was looking for as far as like a woman in faith, a woman of God, and her values and traditions, and somebody who liked to laugh and try new things, and so and was looking for a marriage down the line. And it was also one of those where it was interesting because it was like it was right on Christmas Day. So I was like, and then I also asked her why was she working on Christmas Day.
Yeah. And that's kind of like that. Is that when I was just telling you, like, basically that, like, I'm always at work, like, I
Yep.
work all the time. And he was like, me too. And it was just like coincidentally that he wasn't at work that day. And like what stuck out to me is like, okay, if he's on eHarmony on Christmas, like his mind might be in the same space that mine is in, because like generally people are really like around their family or like doing stuff, but like we're both on like a dating website on Christmas. So we keep talking back and forth, and then um do I say something like, do you ask for my number, or like how is it? Because I remember
Yeah.
me saying,
I asked for your number
okay,
after we've been talking back and forth because at this point I'm like, all right,
he
let
wanted to
me
get off the
just,
app.
yeah, I want to get off the app and let's talk. And then you're like, well, I don't know.
I said, is your text game strong? Because, like, I don't like when people, like, you get off of the app and then, like, people are not texting. I'm a person that when I care about you or we're in a relationship, like, I want attention. So I'm just like, you need to be sure that if I give you my number, you're going to be messaging me and keeping up with me. And he says, I can show you better than I can tell you. So we start texting, like we literally don't ever stop texting from that point, right?
Right.
So then I get to the point where I think he said something about like me being a catfish or something. And I was saying, like, well, we can FaceTime. And then he's like, yeah, like he's acting all cool about it when we're texting about it. Now, let me tell y'all how this FaceTime goes. So I literally FaceTime him, and I'm like facing him on the camera. Like I'm ready to talk. I'm all excited. Like we've literally talked nonstop since that first message. He is facing away from the camera, y'all.
Look, so me, I'm the type of person, I don't talk on the phone a whole lot. So if I'm on the phone, it's short, it's sweet, and we get to the point and then I'm done. So when she was like, all right, let's FaceTime, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then once I realized, like, okay, we're having this FaceTime conversation, I admit it, I was a little nervous. So I didn't really know what to say.
So I'm kind of like just talking. I'm asking him questions about like what he does, because at the time, he was doing like pastries, like a pastry chef. So I'm like, oh, are you gonna make me some makeup shaped cookies? And like I'm just like talking about things that I think are interesting to him. But in my mind, I'm like, this is gonna be the last time that we talk. Like he must not be interested in me. Like something is off because like he is not looking at the camera. But what I'm noticing is he's continuing the conversation. So it's not like it doesn't seem like he's ready to get off the phone because he's like continuing the conversation. He's not like verbally giving any cues that he's disinterested, but he's just looking away. Like he did not look at me. And I'm just like, what the heck, am I ugly?
No, that wasn't the case. It was just I was a little nervous when we were having that conversation, but I wasn't disinterested.
No, he was like talking to me, and then like from that point after that conversation, I just kind of like chalked it up as like, okay, like this isn't going anywhere because like I don't think that he likes me. But we kept talking back and forth, and he was asking me like basically no, I was telling him that I'm finally gonna take vacation, which was like a big deal because I told him that I was like a workaholic. Like I would be working like 120 hours every 2 weeks. Like I will be working like nonstop. So he's like, what are you planning to do? And at this point, I was like, oh, well, this guy invited me. I was honest. This guy invited me out to Virginia, and he is in the army. And, like he's been wanting me to come visit him. Like, I think like he wants to be with me, and he just wants me to see how it is. And he's kind of like, well, what did you say? If you want to hang out, like I can come pick you up. So in my mind, I'm like, this guy is telling me that if I am there to see another guy, like, I want to hang out with you. I want to like take you out. So if you're down, like I'll come pick you up. I'm like, oh, he's like bold.
No, I knew what I wanted and I was serious. I was like, so I wasn't going to. I said I'll pick you up and I'll drop you back off if that's what you want.
Yeah. So he's telling me that, and I'm like asking him again. So I'm like, okay, so you're going to come pick me up from another man's house and drop me back off if that's what I want to do. And he was like, yeah, like if you want to hang out with me, I'm going to come get you. So I was just like, okay. So like we keep talking, and I end up breaking things off with the other guy. Like we weren't dating. We weren't in a relationship. Like we were talking. And then so he's like, so mind you, my vacation was planned in February, right?
Yeah, at the end of February.
At the end of February. So we're talking literally from Christmas all throughout New Year's, all throughout January. And he's like, hey, I'm going to come to Michigan to visit. What did you say, your dad?
Yeah.
I'm going to come visit my dad. And maybe I can like, we can meet up to hang out. Like he was trying to make it seem like he wasn't just coming for me. So check this, y'all. He was trying to make it seem like he wasn't coming just for me. So I'm like, what you mean you wasn't? So he's like, yeah, I'm coming to see my dad. So if you're gonna be free, I can come get you and we can hang out or whatever. So I was like, oh, so where are you getting your hotel? Mind you, his dad lives in Indiana, not Michigan. So I'm like, where are you going to get a hotel? The hotel he got was in the same city as me. And so I'm like, you're going to go see your dad, which means you could stay with your dad, but you're getting a hotel in my city. Okay. And
I can't stay with my dad if I'm hanging out with you. I'm not going to bring you back to my dad's house.
He was coming to see me. He could have drove down. Indiana is not that far from where I live. So anyway, he comes up. So you was coming to see your dad?
Yeah.
Alex, tell the truth.
I was coming to see my dad.
Alex, tell the truth.
And hang out with you.
Tell the truth.
I was coming to hang out with you.
Did you see your dad on a trip when you came up here?
Nah, schedules didn't line up.
No, he's lying to y'all. Okay, so he is like, okay, I'm gonna get a hotel room and then you can hang out with me. And he was really cool. He was like, it's no pressure. Like you can stay if you want to stay, but if not, like I respect that. That's fine. You know, I don't want you to feel like it's any pressure or anything. So I was just like, cool. So he lets me know when he's gonna be in town, and he comes. And he pulls up to my house, and I already got a suitcase like full. Like I'm saying, like we've been talking. It's been like just good between us. So I'm like, is your dad gonna be mad? I'm asking you like, oh, when are you going to go see your dad? Like, when are you going to go see your dad? And then he was just like, oh, like he was just blowing it off. Like, y'all, he was not trying to see his dad. And so that was like the first time that we met. And I'll put that first picture of the date that we went on in the thumbnail. I had on a pink dress. Like, I got to see him. And it was cool because he told me, like, he didn't want me to be coming out to see him first. He wanted to come see me first. And I feel like y'all definitely have a man comes to you. Okay. So he came to see me in the beginning of February. And then I went to visit his family at the end of February. But on our trip, the first time that he came here, he met my dad and my grandma. The first time that he came here, mind you, we started talking on Christmas. So this Christmas, that'll be 6 years ago, y'all. So we started talking on Christmas. He came to visit me in February. So think Christmas 2018, he came to visit me first in February 2019. And on February 21st, I went to go see him and his family and meet his friends. And February 21st is the day that I went to go see him, or go to his city where he lived and meet his family. And that's also the day that we got married a year later. So, wait, a year later? A year and some change. No, a year later.
A year later.
A year later. So, a year later from the date that I went to go fly out and see him, is the day that we got married. So, yeah, that's how we met. If y'all have any questions, definitely let us know. Oh, another thing. On Christmas, so we met on Christmas a year from Christmas. So 2018 is when we like started talking on Eharmony, and the following Christmas is when he proposed to me. So that's another fun fact about us.
Good. And let's be clear here. Like, I flew to her so that she was safe, felt safe and comfortable coming to see me, and to let her know that I was for real about this and what we were pursuing. So I would say for anybody who's watching, make sure that you understand and know the value that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And any man that wants to be with you will make the decision and choosing his actions to show you that.
Yeah, he'll follow through for sure, because everything that he said that he would do, he did. And yeah, he followed through. So I definitely think that's like a very good point, babe. And yeah, it's been 6 years on Christmas that we've known each other. And then this coming up February, we will be married for 5 years. That is crazy. We met when I was 25 and babe was 27. That just seems so wild. But yeah, y'all, I feel like I have so much more detail and like the things leading up to me meeting him and everything that I went through that year. So I'm definitely going to do like an extended version, because I feel like there's a huge testimony in that, especially for anybody who's still desiring to be married. I definitely want to share that story with y'all. But I just wanted to kind of talk about how babe and I met. So I hope y'all enjoyed it.
That's all I got.